false white light. The false matrix is negative alien technology that has created a complex architecture that creates a false white light webbing that also have fake holographic realities inserted around our planet. It is designed to harness vital force energy and to send fake information through about rituals, fake light beings to call upon, fake alien information, fake ascension information such as don't look at the dark, just focus on the light, etc. in order to connect more people up to this false white light, and is also used for mind control to suppress the awakening process. Words such as light worker can trigger someone to go searching for a connection to the universe and other star beings, and unless they first find a connection to themselves, then the only place to look for connection with the universe and other star beings is through looking out there. If someone doesn't find a connection with themselves first, they cannot find a connection to the universe, and without both a connection to yourself and the universe, the star beings that you will attract will be not the ones you are hoping for. This is why the false white light webbing was created, to give people something external to connect with. Once connected, you are then inserted with holographic inserts that keep you living in a delusion that creates complacency and fake happiness, that keeps you only looking at the light so you can't see what's feeding off you in the darkness. Now, this particular subject can be a hard one for some people, especially if they have been caught up in the white light webbing. The false white light webbing is designed to try and, if anyone wakes up and they start looking and trying to connect outside of themselves because they haven't connected in, people that connect outside of themselves, the fake white webbing is there in order to catch them, basically. So basically the fake white light webbing is there as a trap. So if somebody wakes up to the truth of who they are and looks outside of themselves for connection, then they're going to get caught in the web. If this scans up, then we're able to help with the disconnection process, and this will allow the person to connect with themselves to be able to find a deeper truth, if they choose. Otherwise, they may choose to reconnect due to the temptation of avoiding shadow and connecting with themselves deeply. So basically, doing a clearing like this, if someone has been connected to the fake white light webbing, doing a clearing allows them to connect back with themselves and allows them to tap into their own truth. But they may choose to reconnect to the fake white light in order to avoid doing shadow work. And I find a lot of people do choose this. They can get really caught up in the spiritual wank, and they might be somebody who wears all the right clothes. They might do yoga every day, they might be vegan, they might do their this and then that and the journaling and they might do all of these things, but then what happens is they become extremely judgmental because they kind of get this ego complex where if you're not doing yoga and if you're not vegan, then you can't be spiritual, or if you're a smoker, then you can't be spiritual, or if you do this, you can't be spiritual, you have to do this, this and this, and that traps them straight away into that fake white webbing, and they're getting fed off as well. So basically it's just a way, it's a funnel, it's a way to kind of, if somebody comes up and awakens, then they can be funneled off this way to be fed off again. It's only those who are able to really go into discernment who are able to navigate and start avoiding that. Some people get caught in the fake white webbing, and they get themselves out because they start to feel and see and sense all the different bullshit that goes on there, and they pull themselves out. But sometimes they do that and then they get burnt from anything spiritual. So sometimes if someone gets caught in the fake white webbing, they pull themselves out and then they feel burnt and they don't go searching for anything in that way again. And that, once again, creates some sort of trauma within them that doesn't make them want to connect or believe in anything higher than themselves. So it can really derail people in many ways. They can get caught in there, or they can get caught in there and then pull themselves out, but then get burnt from really discovering the truth of the universe and the truth of who they are. It's really important we respect people's choices for their own soul's evolution, and we remember no one needs saving. They just need educating so they have the ability or option to make better choices if they choose. Attaching mechanisms. Trying to connect to something outside of yourself. So without a solid connection to yourself, you're always going to be looking for something outside of yourself for connection and validation. Without a solid relationship with yourself, you have no way of knowing what's fake and what's real, and this can allow all kinds of attachments and interference, this being one of them. So the attaching mechanism is looking for anything outside of yourself. And unfortunately, that's one of the biggest issues that we have right now, is that a lot of people don't have a solid connection to themselves. And a lot of people go looking for the answers outside of themselves. So this is when this particular energy can really swoop in and give people what they're looking for, and the sensations and feelings of connection, connecting to certain things, connecting to certain fake light beings. It gives them what they're looking for. But unfortunately, it also allows them to be fed off and also completely kept in the dark of what's really going on inside of their own energy body.
Today we will be discussing fake white light. This is an energy that commonly shows up for clients when doing soul readings and clearings. I find a certain percentage of this energy in most people these days is becoming more and more common, especially with the New Age spiritual movement and community. It is a false matrix that is actually a negative alien technology. It was created as a complex architecture that creates fake, false, white light webbing that surrounds the planet, which also holds fake holographic realities. It is used as a form of suppression and a form of delusion and disempowerment. It is also designed to harness vital force energy and to send fake information, keys and codes through about spirituality, about the New Age movement, the spiritual movement, rituals, ascension, alien information, conspiracies, etc. More and more people unknowingly are pushing this agenda, which is also hooking up other people into this agenda via the advanced alien technology and their false information. Although they do not know that they are being used, they are channeling and spreading the fake white light information. It is used in order to connect more and more people to this fake white light, and it is also used for mind control and to suppress the true awakening process. It is a form of delusion. People will have no idea that this is going on, and that they think that they are really connecting to some amazing spiritual energy, when in fact they are deeply connecting to the fake white light, which is entwined with the false matrix agenda. They will be implanted with false keys and codes, and they are therefore also being mind controlled by this energy. All forms of alien technology in this planet are all forms of energy harvesting technologies. They are harvesting energy because we as humans create a large amount of vital force energy. So this is why the false white light was ideally created. It was to give people something external to connect with. And once connected, you are inserted with holographic inserts that keep you living in a delusion, and that creates complacency and fake happiness. And that keeps you only looking at the light, so you can't see what is feeding off you in the darkness. It is very important to be aware of the information we are taking in, to be very discerning, especially when it comes to the New Age movement.
I was working on this little boy last week, and he was being very programmed to be quite narcissistic. I don't know how old he is now. It's about 11. So there was like bullying programs. There was programs that he was being bullied and bullying others. And if you looked at the programming, they wanted him in like a business kind of job, bullying employees, and a very big ego, but the reason I found one consciousness that was covered in this white gooey substance, and what this did, it's like fake light. That's all I can describe it as, because what it did is it's like he could get away with so much stuff and no one would be able to see it. That was the effects of this white light on his consciousness. So he could be mean. So say he was like, saw him being mean to a fellow human being. That fellow human being wouldn't blame him, they would invert it on themselves, like there's something wrong with them. That's what the effect of this white light was all about. He could literally get away with murder. And so obviously I took this white light off him and took him out of the bullying programs, and actually he was being very steered away from his own natural path, which was the opposite of what his programs were, which is a very friendly, entertaining, connect with all different age levels, a very friendly boy, which is going to turn into a very friendly, outgoing young man. It's weird because in a week there's always a theme of what I'm learning or what I'm discovering, and actually the next lady after that, she also had this white light, but the effects on her was very, very different. So when people came in contact with her, they were repelled. They were either quite nasty towards her, which closed her down even more. This is what the effects of this white light was doing. And it just got me thinking of the narcissistic empath relationship, you know, and you think of all the big people in this reality that get away with, literally they get away with murder, don't they? And we don't blame them. Politicians and stuff like that, we just go, oh, there's something else going on. And they don't get the blame, or they haven't been seen before. They haven't, you know, you look at all the people that do all the dark deeds, they don't actually, you know, shit rolls downhill, doesn't it? They don't actually ones that don't take responsibility for what they've done. And I'm just wondering if this fake white light is responsible for it. Plus with the narcissistic empath relationship, if this white light is around them, maybe around all of us, who knows? Because I've also seen that this white light, it causes very deep, like sudden deep depressions, and I've seen it on another person who causes sudden deep fears, like they'll just go into a fear state. So it's very different. It's not programs, it's not like your consciousness is connecting to something else, it's just this energy that surrounds the consciousness, and that person's reacting. So yeah, that's quite interesting. Thought I'd share that. That was my findings of last week, and I need to find out where this energy originates from and how we can get rid of this energy altogether in this reality. So I was working on a lady last week, and when I was looking at her, I was like in this reality, so I was looking at her physical body and everything and the reality that she was living in, and I saw that she, I could see that a computer generated reality laying on top of conscious reality, and that her programs that she had were also connecting to this computer generated reality. I thought it was a bit odd. And then as I travelled out, I sort of found myself outside, looking at Gaia in all her glory, and saw that this pixelated computer generated reality is all over Gaia in a nice neat box. It's like, and she's in the middle of it. So this affects all of Earth, so this affects all of us. And since then, I've been seeing that people are connected up to this computer-generated reality. Yeah, so you've got conscious reality, which we all create, every single one of us who are in the collective. And then you've got the computer-generated reality. Just to confuse us. It seems like the computer-generated reality, obviously it's, I don't know the difference, but I just know that our programs obviously react to it. And yeah, once I find out more information, I'll let you know. I had a lady Wendy, can't remember her surname, Wendy, lovely lady in America. She asked me, are the truthers in this field, are they in danger of being taken out, murdered? She wanted to ask my view on it. Now, how this reality is created is through beliefs. So the elite can only get to you if you believe that they can. We create this reality, they don't. So how the programming once a trauma happens, the consciousness splits, and they'll take that consciousness and place it in a program. Once that consciousness really starts to believe that program, then they'll manifest that into this reality. If the consciousness doesn't believe the program, then it won't manifest. This reality is created from beliefs.